All right, let's watch this together, boys. Let's see how this is. Hi, May. How's it going? Welcome in. We are doing a react here. We're going to react to this new MMO. How you doing? How you doing? Okay. This looks pretty solid. Yeah, dude. Pretty solid. It's another MMO, yeah. Did you play in the beta, Jim B? That's pretty cool. Oh, sheesh. He died. He died.
For those of you that keep asking, when is a new good MMO going to drop? Well, for some of you, that day is quite a bit closer than you thought. From the developers Airship Syndicate, which has put out games such as Ruined King, A League of Legends Story, Darksiders Genesis, and Battlefield Chasers have come to
This has the art style of like League of Legends or Runeterra kind of thing.
together with publisher Digital Extremes to put forth a new up-and-coming free-to-play MMO action game called Wayfinder. Projected early access for PC and PlayStation will be in May, with access granted through purchase of the founder packs, and there will be...
So if it's under NDA though, then I wonder how they were able to make this video. How were they able to release this video then? You know, that's my question. And then what kind of food did you get, Allison? We need a game. We definitely do. That's on me, though. That's on me.
A full release later in 2023. They will be following the, and I quote, embracing the free and fair Digital Extremes philosophy, which is held by the Digital Extremes Warframe model. I was able to play in their latest beta, and I had a ton of fun with my two friends, Taven and Rogue, who were unwittingly subjected to me tanking for our group as we planned none of this, as we just so happened to see each other in the beta's Discord and realized, huh, well, I guess we're a team now, which is perfect since the max members of a team within the game is 3 people for the content that will be out at release. As I mentioned, I chose the tank/healer of the group. There are a total of 6 characters that will be released.
So we have the Winggrave, Silo, Nis, Senya, Kiros, and Redacted. So Redacted, of course, probably they have another class, but they don't want to reveal it yet. Dauntless. It definitely has the same look. The NDA build has your name and stuff on the screen so you can get banned. Oh. Well, so there's I got invited and I got invited and I looked at it and it wanted me to fill out an NDA and I couldn't stream it. I was like, all right, I did get invited. Wasn't going to do it because I just I already don't have enough time to make stuff. So, or
with one
game
I
offline.
know nothing about, and one that was not within the beta I played at the time. There is no full customization of your characters, as you must pick your Wayfinder, and who they are is, well, who they are. Each Wayfinder will have a story that develops as you play. You can decorate your Wayfinder once within the game itself with their class-themed outfits, hairstyles, colors.
Oh, I like those. That's sick, though. This is sick. You know, this also reminds me of Paladins. The art style? Paladins. Paladins are the other... What's the one you could ride horses in that battle royale? The same one as that.
Little charms, but that does not change the fact that you are that character, which is a bit of a bum for me since I love playing the healer classes and was left with a big beefy man. You can unlock the other character to swap between as you play through grinding materials to do so, but be aware they will start from square one and the grind will recycle back around for that one. But when you are tired of grinding and want to push ahead, just swap back to your higher level character. So far the characters are Winggrave, which is arguably the easiest of them to play. That is both tank and healer, as he has shield and heals. Then the class which both my male friends chose, which of course is female, and is by far the prettiest of the three that were playable for us at the baseline, and that was Nis, a shadow dancer that really is best described in my book as a rogue type. She is very fast-paced and difficult to master as per my friends. Next is Silo, a mixture of ranged and melee who basically loves to throw bombs
overall
and is
like
great
it.
at yoinking enemies in for
Looks
a
good.
quick AoE burst down or slowing enemies so they can make a tactical retreat from their range. One of the extra characters that dropped in the beta was Sinja, who to me kind of looks like a sexy version of Zarya from Overwatch, but kind of is a wee bit like Doomfist. She is great for gathering enemy forces, buffing the team, and
I don't know if I like that
into
class
buffing
really
her
at
own
all.
Weapons next attack. I took her for a little spin, but didn't have it in my heart to leave behind Wingrave and his lovely benefits for my team. Another character we have yet to experience in the test phase is Kairos, which is a damage dealer ranged character. If you notice, I didn't mention really any of their weapons in their discussion, because their weapons can be any weapon you want. Any weapon type can be used by any character and appears to be purchasable from an NPC in the main town. If you want the better versions of the weapons, you will need to craft them by grinding out the materials necessary to do so.
Oh,
which we'll
so if
get
your
to
teammate gets knocked, you can get them up.
The characters will start out with
cool.
their base weapons upon entering the
They
game.
have, oh, do you see that right here? That's dope. So they actually have the actual, like, Final Fantasy 14, like, outline of where the abilities are going to be. That's pretty dope. That's dope.
The game, which consists of sword and shield, dual blades, rifle, and two-handed melee weapons. This will not change your 4 core abilities linked to your character, but it will change the weapon ability and your primary attack. As I mentioned, the combat itself is action, and it felt pretty smooth. The 4 base skills do have a cooldown for varying times or build-ups required.
Les Husky,
However,
welcome in, buddy. How you doing?
I didn't know, because it wasn't really explained in the tutorial for combat and how to move, was the fact that there are super cool attacks not touched upon. For instance, with Wingrave's base weapon, my job is to build up my power bash to break enemy shields faster for my team so we can start dealing damage. I was just
Good, dude. We're just watching the Wayfinder first impressions, MMOByte. They were able to, they did the beta. I was going to do it, but it's like an NDA beta, so I wanted to be able to stream it, so... But yeah, I mean, overall, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's just a whole nother MMO at this point. But yeah, so far so good.
Just utilizing a heavy attack, which at the end of 5 consecutive heavy attacks would result in a shield bash, which would unlock my power bash to break shield.
She's
this,
standing in all the bad.
Especially if I wanted to build it up for a higher power level by doing 3 shield bashes. I didn't realize until I got an echo, which we'll get into here shortly, that told me I get a bonus to damage if I jumped and use a heavy attack. This not only counts as a shield bash for me, but does great AoE damage. I also discovered another attack to build up my pip thanks to
How big is the world? Jimby, is it pretty big?
watching a guy that recognized me in game. Thanks, Cowboy Bebop.
Blessed Husky. So what's new with you, buddy? How's your streams?
This only required me to hit W and E key at the same time to shield slam. From there, I began experimenting and found yet another attack that involved running and shield bashing an enemy in the face. These attacks also exist for other weapon types as well, with not quite the same benefit as it does for the sword and shield with a quick power bash buildup. Now, as I mentioned, there are echoes within the game, and they can be applied to your weapons, characters,
it's all good. Don't worry about it.
This is where your build
We'll
will
find
become
out.
more unique than others. Each monster has
There's going to be an open beta eventually for it, you know, or, you know, they're very early stages, so it's all good. We have other Blue Protocol. We have a lot of games coming in, so.
the ability to drop
So you have your echoes, and then you can use it. And so these are different things that you can use for the actual weapons, huh?
an echo that will range from common to epic. I won't get into too much depth in this system other than the echoes can be
Oh, she's kind of showing how big it is right now.
And you'll want
Okay,
to match
she's
your
showing
echo
it.
type to its corresponding
She
letter
showed it.
slot to maximize your loadout. However, it is not required to do so, and you can spend your points
That's cool.
however you would want to. E-types will have an additional effect for your character, so honestly, I looked for really good ones of those, and also taught me about, you know, the shield bash. These echoes can be upgraded as well by feeding echoes into it, and you'll get a bonus upgrade points for putting in the same monster echo.
It seems like it could be a complex system. I mean, you just got to figure it out and then you can work it, but I don't know.
For further individualizing your build, you can pick and choose accessories to add in to boost certain stats that you find important for your character. These will drop from monsters or can be crafted. Should you achieve a set of accessories, typically by crafting some of the accessories, there are bonuses to having the set equipped to your character.
Okay, so like a set bonus.
Utilizing all these things together, you can build yourself a strong glass cannon or a super tanky Hulk.
Cool.
I'm sure builds will drop for each character, and I'm excited to see what will come out. To give your character an even greater flair of distinctiveness, you can grind towards crafting weapons. Each weapon you will craft will have a different weapon ability. For instance, if I wanted to stay sword and shield but craft different types of the same weapon, I can have a weapon ability that will either AoE damage enemies, increase block, or stagger enemies. Now you'll probably realize I keep saying grind, and I know some of you are wincing each time I
all MMOs are grinds, no matter how you word it.
say it. Essentially, this is what the game is. It is a grind.
Yeah.
To get all these supplies, you'll need to seek out the ingredients or monsters for all these crafted items or echo types. You'll move between this segregated open world to kill different world monsters, world events, and work together with other players.
Oh, there's a gloom, so that's like a dungeon, right? So
these may drop things you require, as well as the monsters in the dungeons. What makes this grind so much more tolerable in my mind is that no two dungeon runs will be the same, as not only can you add affixes to the dungeons, such as greed, floor, and shadow, but the dungeons are procedurally generated. In my grind, I ran the same dungeon probably 5 separate times, and each time was fairly different, not only visually, but also in terms of events happening within the dungeon, such as a phoenix or a monster spawn event.
That's
this
cool.
Kept it feeling fresh, no matter how many
it makes it where it's like a fresh event each time. WoW's done that in the past too, not with dungeons, but with different things.
times I had to go in and try to get the drops. The dungeons felt rewarding, fun, and were crazy good looking in my opinion. The big boss fight dungeons are probably one of my most favored, as the mechanics keep you on your toes, and you'll absolutely need to work with other people the harder they become. The game so close to early access release leaves me a little worried though. The NPCs are still what I presume to be placeholder NPCs and are all basically twins. There are quite a few crashes, bugs, and various little things. Hopefully the one last test phase will iron out before release.
Oh, so, wow, look at that.
I'm not too worried
look
about
at that bug.
There's also some quality of life changes I think could really make this a lot better, such as being able to move when you're in queue for more party members. You're pretty much locked into staring at the dungeon screen, otherwise the dungeon queue will cancel.
Yeah,
also,
they definitely need to allow that.
On drop rates for some of the items, as after 3 hours of grinding, I still had only gotten 1 of the 9 drops that I needed to craft an item.
Wow.
The RNG is a little rough if this is the final state of it, but the purpose of the game is to grind, so maybe it is the way it is because it should be that way.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be that bad.
Otherwise, I feel this game has huge potential to be well loved by those that adore these types of games, and I will be playing it when it drops. Overall, this game was a joy to experience. I look forward to playing more, especially upon release. They plan more great things like player apartments, mounts, and seasons. Approximately every 3 months will bring a new season, which with it will come a new character and its weapon along with new events. They did
new weapons, new characters, constant, so they've already planned out a good, amount of time in advance for when people don't have anything to do. That's huge with MMOs.
They will be holding yet another beta before early access in May, so be sure to sign up to keep tabs on the game if you're curious about it and want to help them test. Hopefully this will scratch the new good MMO desiring itch many of you have right now. This was Mrs. Sticks logging off for now. Bye!
Well, if I was to give my rating out of 10, I would say 6 or 7 right now out of 10, but it's still beta, I really like the art style. The art style is freaking dope because it's a different style, but then You know, the mechanics kind of seem a little wonky, at least for the tank. So I don't think I would even play the tank. Because if you compare the tank to this one, to the one in Blue Protocol, the tank in the Blue Protocol just seems more fulfilling. But overall, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm glad that they showcased that because it comes together. But yeah, I'd give it a 6 or 7 right now until I really get in and play it. But if I was able to play the early access, they did say it was going to be free, right? It's free to play. If it's free, that's also another thing. That's easy. All free to play MMOs just like, yeah, let's get in, let's try it. Not spend any money if we don't have to, of course, you know. But heck yeah, Jimby.